Okay, this is it. Why Links? This is the final in a 7-part series. And in fact, in weeks to come, we may actually have some of your feedback that we may read while we do a Friday devotional, or maybe even get some of you on film. What's happened in your fellowship? Why is it so invigorating? To give us some stories. We love to hear the feedback from the field of Jesus working through what we talked about last week, your living sacrifice. You've given your body to Jesus to do whatever he wants to do with it in the place that you find yourself. And if that's your passion for golf, fantastic, join the community. So what happens at the end of all this? When I breathe my last, what occurs now? It staggers me that many don't really fully grasp what will happen. If you're covered in the blood of Jesus through faith and you're saved by grace through faith, that's all that is. This is a faith issue. Your salvation is a function of faith, not about what leading to fellowship or anything else. Your salvation comes by faith. We'll be clear about that. This has nothing to do with salvation. Salvation is through Jesus and Jesus alone. But for those who, die or fall asleep, as the Bible calls it, we as followers of Jesus will also stand before a judgment. It's called the judgment seat of Christ. Paul alludes this in a couple of places in the Bible. We're going to look at one particularly, 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 1 Corinthians 3 simply says this: neither the one who plants or the one who waters is anything. This is all Jesus. This is Jesus working through my yielded body. I give you my body, a living sacrifice. We're not anything, but God causes the growth. Remember, what are we growing? A living tabernacle, right in places you can't imagine. It says, now he who plants and he who waters are one, but each will receive his reward according to his own labor. So that's not in the Bible. Yeah, it is. 1 Corinthians 3, right here. Verse 9, we are God's fellow workers. You are God's field, God's building. Again, Paul's using the language of something's being built here. Listen to what he says. He says, according to the grace of God, which was given to me, a wise master builder laid a foundation, another is building upon it. That's us. Let each man be careful how he builds upon it. We talked about build according to the tabernacle. No man can lay a foundation other than one which is laid, which is Jesus. We know that. If any man builds upon the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each man's work will become evident. Over time, you just know, and especially on the judgment seat of Christ. For the day, that's the judgment seat of Christ, will show it, because it is to be revealed with fire, and the fire itself will test the quality of each man's work. And this gets back to where we started. If there's a God and he was so exacting in creation, was he exacting in the same way by allowing you to be a reflection of his image with very specific tasks in this life? My belief is absolutely. I think the Bible's clear on this. Otherwise, how would we give an account for our lives? Like Jeremiah, there were things planned before us even before we were in the womb. Each man's work will become evident, for the day will show it, because it is to be revealed with fire, as we just read. And it'll test the quality of each man's work. If any man's work which he has built remains, he'll receive a reward. If any man's work is burned up, he will suffer loss, but he will be saved, yet so through the fire. Do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? In other words, you're a temple. Our Links community is a tabernacle. And then there's the global church, which is the ultimate temple being built into worship for the King of Kings. We're going to give an account for our lives. Is that the sole reason that I wanted to serve Jesus? No, there are many multifaceted reasons. I wanted to live my life out for him in thankfulness for what he did for me on the cross. I wanted a life of mystery and excitement. I wanted a life that was connected missionally in community, and I never could have imagined the Links community. I meet many of you all over when I travel, and we're one living tabernacle, and God's dwelling among us. That's incredible, but also I do recognize that at the end of this life, Jesus is going to say, what did you do with what I gave you? He tells all kinds of stewardship parables. I said, Lord, you put me in golf and I wanted to go to those people that were hurting in my golf community, in my club. And I know that was your passion being lived through me. And then I'll take that crown and I'll throw it at his feet, and we'll worship for all of eternity. Folks, this is it. So in closing, contact us. Send an email to Dennis if you receive the daily devotional. He'll get it to the proper authorities and all of our staff in different parts of the country. We're about to have a presence in the Northwest. I'm excited to introduce him in months to come. We have a new person in the Southwest. We have several new people that I'm excited to announce in the Southeast. And look, we're there to serve you in your calling. I hope you have been stirred by this, and if you do feel stirred, we'll allow the Links community to be your community. We can't wait to embrace the partnership. Hope you have a great week.